Everything is about to change. First, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishop, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shabbat coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kwadash. As I was, debating about the title, we'll just see how the title, manifests. I might just call it "Everything's About to Change." All right, because as we've been telling you here at Great Millstone, from our apostles and elders, elder bishops on down, the police state is coming. A so-called Skynet system. Okay, where everything is going to be traced, tracked. You're going to be watched. All your movements. Okay, and basically, we're at the time where he's about to roll out the system. Okay, and you can see here, this is Fox News. I was trying to find this clip on Fox News. I eventually finding it, but it's on Aaron Cohen's channel, which I believe this guy right here is one of these damn devils. They kind of look the same, but I believe it's him, which he's a small hat. And you're going to see that pretty much this damn devil, he can't hide himself. All these people that are in control of these technologies, like Palantir, he's a small hat, and he's a sodomite. Bear with me, I'm just sipping some green tea. Give me a second. Okay. All these individuals that are rolling out this technology, behind the technology is a small hat. So he can't hide himself. Now you see how Esau's look, even from the woman, they have like there's a tough look. Okay, because he is not playing around. All right, no more. All right, before we go into the video, because this is beautiful. Everything is about to change. Look at that, 144. I'll call all y'all Bashmal Shai. Okay, they're getting ready to roll out this AI technology. Gideon. Okay, which that goes back to the scriptures. I was hearing the apostle Elder Tahar. He was going into it. They're making themselves known, and the excuse is we're able to stop crime before it actually happens. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it going back into. They put it in several movies, but one movie that stands out is I can't believe every time this movie escapes me. The Minority Report. There we go. The Minority Report with the precogs, where they were able to detect crime before it happens. Well, Esau, he ain't playing. He been working on this technology, and he's getting ready to roll it out here in Babylon the Great. So things are getting ready to be changed. You're gonna see a lot of people get caught up due to things that the government deems, all right, illegal. You say something online illegally, you write a comment online illegally, you do a text message that they don't like. Okay? You just say something they don't like, you do something they don't like. It could be completely in the law, within your means of, the American Constitution or whatever it may be. They gonna come get your ass, or they gonna fine you. Like the brother Shamar, the captain, he was telling me how, an AI camera, pretty much, gave him a warning. It didn't give him a ticket yet because the system is being, put up. But it's like, hey, look, next time we're going to give you a ticket. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. See, we're actually rejoicing. This is great news. Because we have to get there. Okay? We want Jacob's trouble. Okay? We want our temptation to come. Why? Because when we see these things, like it tells you, look up, for your salvation draweth nigh. Okay? For you people, this is your destruction. And you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of truthers, and a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of nationalists, American nationalists, militias, whatever it may be, that are going to fight, even Jake, that's going to fight against this AI system that's being set up. But there's nothing that you can do. Okay, these things must happen. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. And they don't have enough police force, military force to actually control the people through force. It don't work. The people are going to rebel. So what system do they have in place? Well, they control you through digital means. And this is this is what John the Revelator saw. Ultimately, that technology, is going to go under the skin. Surveillance under the skin. These are things that they proclaim outwardly. They announce outwardly, hey, we're moving you towards this direction, and there's nothing that you can do. You can fight up against the system. I'll debank you. I'll deplatform you. Okay, I'll make it to where you're not able to survive in my system, and that's essentially what's getting ready to go on. But look at these faces of these Edomites. Even her, she's tough on crime. Like, look, we ain't playing around with you no more. All right, the Republicans are in office. We're gonna stop crime. Now the excuse is the 2 children that were shot and killed in the Minneapolis school shooting, and it's like it's all starting to make sense, which we understand why all this chaos was allowed to happen. Okay, and then and also there's that one series, Utopia. I believe it was on HBO, Showtime, or Amazon Prime. One of them, I believe, maybe Amazon Prime, where they show you that the so-called deep state, they were creating, distractions through mass casualty events. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. All right, and they were able to manipulate the internet. They're able to do whatever, control a narrative. And this is what the devil, he's getting ready to come down. And this is all part of him coming down, having that digital control. Who owns these systems? They're giving it to the American government. The American government don't own these systems. All right, the small hats own these systems. The wicked elite, they own these systems. Okay. So this is fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, you damn devils, you've been caught. Even though you know that you've been caught, you're gonna still go along with the plan, because the majority of the people, they're zapped, they're zombies. All right, but you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna buck up and fight against this. You're gonna have people that's gonna be, destroying this AI infrastructure, just like with the 5G, they were destroying those towers. They're working on technology, and I worked in telecom for like 5-6 years, so I'm privy to the technologies that they've been working on. Okay, and a lot of the even the older technologies can go a lot faster, but they attenuate them down. They bring them down because they're not safe. But that's neither here or there. Let's play this, but you're gonna listen closely, because they're rolling out the technology. All you Israelites that playing around, playing games. What about this? Why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about the devil coming down? All right, with this technology that's going to control your every move. And by the way, we're going to a digital currency, so we're going to be using digital currency as well, and that's going to give them even more our ability to control your every move. Okay.
Retired LAPD Lieutenant Mark Evans and Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. It's great to have you on. It's a sad night to do. Special Ops veteran Aaron Cohen, retired LAPD Lieutenant Mark Evans and Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. It's great to have you on. It's a sad night to do this. Nicole, I want to start with you first. The FBI Director, Kash Patel, posted this on X, quoting here, the FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics. Is he right, Nicole? Is this a hate crime in your opinion?
I think that's an understatement. I think this is a hate crime and a lot more. And I appreciate that Kash Patel is stepping in and saying, you know what, let's look at this as a federal crime. Obviously, the shooter is deceased, a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but it is so important.
And isn't that ironic that all these so-called mass shootings end with the shooter being deceased, so they can't testify, or the dude is completely bugged out, he either kills himself or so-called suicide by cops. he blew himself up, or he burned himself to alive, or they got into a shootout with the cops and the cops shot him. All right, look, Esau, you damn devil. The Lord, really, the Lord, he got a scopeo on you. All right, this is not going to deceive the elect. We understand what's coming.
Important that the FBI
and bring it on.
Steps in and discovers how this happened and investigates it as a hate crime or possible domestic terrorism.
Yeah, it's amazing to me.
Look, remember that word. I want you to tune in. Domestic terrorism. That's going to be the new boogeyman. Okay, and after 2001 with the towers, you have the Patriot Act. You have the Patriot Act 1, Patriot Act 2, who gave the ability for the American government to spy on their citizens. This was all set up to bring in the technology that we're getting ready to see now. And people that are dissenters, people that are seditious towards the system that's being set up, you are now going to be deemed a domestic terrorism, the domestic terrorists. You Hebrew Israelites, you're going to be thrown in there as well. All right, we're going to be thrown in as domestic terrorists. You're going to have patsies, people that have been set up to do certain things in these different Israelite camps, which is going to give them excuse to come down upon the whole community. Okay, and ultimately, as we read in Revelation 12, the whole world, all these nations are going to adopt this system. China's already doing it.
Because I want to put this up. The Minneapolis police chief, he gave a couple of news conferences today, Aaron Cohen, and some pretty compelling information along the way. He said the following here. I want to get your take on this.
We're also aware of a manifesto that the...
And again, every single time there's a so-called manifesto that these shooters actually, leave. Isn't that ironic? But the people are so caught up in the everyday mundane rat race and the pursuit of happiness and pleasure, clubbing and doing this and doing that. They don't even understand that there is a digital prison that's being set up around. You're being sieged digitally. Okay, the infrastructure is being set up, and they're using order out of chaos to actually use that order out of chaos to be the excuse why they must bring this in. Okay, instead of living a righteous lifestyle as they claim that they're of God. Okay, and they use these different communities to spark up, virtue signaling and emotion triggers the Catholics, and then you gotta look like a trans that did it. We're just completely set up.
Shooter had time to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings. That content has since been taken down with the assistance of the FBI, and it now remains...
So you're not going to be able to see that content. That content's not out there. That's very convenient.
Active review by our investigators.
So he clearly planned this. He had the manifesto going live on YouTube at a certain time. Clearly,
and
there
you
was...
see this damn devil, it's that small hat. You see what he's holding up. Okay? If you know, you know.
Some thought that went into this, Aaron. I mean, and nobody was tipped off.
This is 100% domestic terrorism. I'm going to tell you why, Trace.
See that? This is domestic terrorism. Look what this damn devil's getting ready to, Let me just let you play it. Let me let you hear. Excuse me.
This is ideologically motivated. This was tactical, and this was intentional. 80% of these domestic lone wolf terrorists post some type of grievance online. Matthew Crooks, 900 posts between 2020 and 2022. The D.C. shooter, 900-page manifesto. 100% domestic terrorism.
Come on, bro. 900 pages. Ain't nobody... I think the D.C. shooter was at a Jake. Or was it the D.C. sniper? Come on, 900 pages? Ain't no motherfucker writing no 900 pages.
And I bet you, in addition to that manifesto, there's a very significant breadcrumb daisy trail leading back who knows how many weeks, months, or even years. This is the new face of terrorism. This is no longer post-9/11 terror organized Al-Qaeda trace. These are radicalized online lone wolves, and the United States is 10 years behind these threats. We need to catch up.
And a nigga right there, man. Look at this. Goddamn man, woman, whatever the hell that is. That's the face of terrorism. So you trans also are the face of terrorism is too.
Wanted to get your opinion on the breaking news here because the First Lady Melania Trump just called for more, and this is quoting here, preemptive intervention when it comes to
preemptive intervention, meaning they're going to get you before it can happen, and they're going to use their technology. Okay,
IDing school shooters. It's kind of your bailiwick, Aaron.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to pull.
Go back to them small hats.
Specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not.
It's his program. He wished it was already up. This is getting out of hand. All these goddamn school shootings. We are if we have this technology up, we'll be able to identify the problem before it happens. It's going to scrape the internet nonstop. It's never going to sleep. If you say something, if you on live or you doing a video, you upload a video and you say something that they deem domestic terrorists, all right, a speech that's against the government or whatever it may be, okay, you use too many curse words. You curse out Trump, or you use the FBI in the bad language. It's going to be routed to the authorities, and you're going to get a knock on the goddamn door, okay? And you might get locked up. That's the tyranny that's getting ready to happen, all right? And we've been telling you for years. Now I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna run that back. Now they're getting ready to roll out the technology, and this is beautiful. All right, the Lord is bringing our salvation near.
Law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli platform. Is 10 years behind these threats. We need to catch up.
And I wanted to get your opinion on the breaking news here, because the First Lady, Melania Trump, just called for more, and this is quoting here, preemptive intervention when it comes to IDing school shooters. It's kind of your bailiwick, Aaron.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement.
And if I'm not mistaken, the word Gideon, which goes to like the word Gadaiwan, like troop, but it can also mean hewer. If I'm not, let me just look that up again. All right. Let's look at this word Gideon. I believe it goes to troops as well as hewer. God I won. Okay, which is, God meaning troop, like the tribe of Gad. Okay, and the one at the end is gonna make it plural, but it means hewer. Okay, let's go to the root. Gadai is to like cut down, hew, chop. Okay, to destroy anything. See, this technology. Why would they reference that to? Why would they reference that to? Technology. We're about to release this down here. A warrior, a feller, a hewer, but it also is can be like the plural way of saying troops. Okay, let me see something. Let's just see. It's probably a different word. Yeah, that's a different word there. Okay, but that's one of the the elders out in San Francisco, Gad Iwan. We call him, Gad, the elder Gad. Okay. So let's go back.
It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an
24/7, baby. It's gonna scrape the internet.
Israeli grade ontology to
Israeli grade. So it's the best one, baby.
Pull specific threat language and then route
threat language. You say something that they don't like, they deem threatening to the establishment. Okay, they're gonna come grab your ass up. Okay, that's draconian rule. Let me just get that. So you niggas thought it was a game. Esau not playing. The Lord. Let me get Ezekiel. Ezekiel 20, and eventually they're gonna come after us too. But I got a preset for you on that one too. Let me just hold that. Okay. The scriptures talk about fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer. All right, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Okay, just give me a second, 1 second. Okay. So let's go to Revelation 13. We'll go back to the video. Right? Yep. Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb. Okay. A lamb is a very docile, peaceful creature. Harmless. Right? And he spake as a dragon. A dragon is an animal of destruction. All right, so this new beast, which is the Roman Empire coming back into power through America and the EU, America, NATO, and the EU, they will set up a system in which, you know, it will look peaceful, and you know, they will market it as freedom and God fearing, as a lamb. And the two political parties, the horns, the Republicans and the Democrats, and there's an illusion that, okay, you have a voice, right? That you want this technology. The people have voted for this, right? But the whole time, this technology is going to be a dragon unto you, a draconian. Because if you say one thing that they don't like, they deem terroristic, they're going to come get your ass.
Hit the local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Lieutenant Mark Evans, it's great to have you on here. I mean, the principal of Annunciation Catholic School said the following here about being inside the church.
Within seconds of this situation beginning, our teachers were heroes. Children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children. And as we heard earlier, it could have been significantly worse without their heroic action.
I know your experience. I've covered these school shootings now, sadly, for 27 years. Anytime we know that there are
adults... See, they've been using these school shootings, right? They've been using these school shootings as the catalyst to bring in what we're seeing now. Order out of chaos. Now there's a so-called cry, a need for this technology, because the police are not getting it done. Even calling the military, that's not getting it done. Okay, people are just crazy. There's people that are just crazy in the mind, and we don't know why this is happening. So the solution is, well, look, we got this technology that's going to scrape the internet. It's going to get in front of these crimes before they actually happening, because 90% of these crimes, there's breadcrumbs, there's traces of internet, you know, people saying things on the internet that would bring them to violence, and that's how we're going to be looked at. We're going to be looked at as, you know, the things, our speech patterns as violence towards the government. All right, and Gideon, he gonna come and find you. Okay, the Israeli technology.
Adults in the room, in the schools, in whatever rooms that kids happen to be in, they always tend to fare better, Mark.
I agree with that, Tracy. And you could tell by the response that they had done some type of training, and they were able to get kids down and try to control the kids to help them be safe. Yeah. But I would also say, as a first responder, when you're at
sea... All right, that's pretty much... that's all I really wanted. It's probably more in there. You can watch that if you want. Aaron Cohen, Small Hat, a demon. Okay. Let me go to Ezekiel, the 21st chapter. All right, verse Let me start at verse 9, okay? Because you Jakes, you thought it was a see, man, a nigga always thinks it's a game. Okay, the Lord is closing up shop, man. Okay? You think that we just supposed to be here in America all goddamn day, all, for the next 20 years, next 15 years, next 50 years, we supposed to just be in America just hanging out, going to work, going to a barbecue, going to the club, talking shit. Nah, bro, everything has an end. And the end is manifest. And the end is manifest with the devil coming down on the whole earth. Okay? A lot of death getting ready to happen. And who is it going to be targeted towards? It's going to be targeted towards you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. You already are the face of crime, but you're going to really be targeted. Okay? These gang violence, we need to stop it. And what better way to stop it than to have a technology that can find your ass everywhere you go, because you're gonna be uploaded to the system. Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophesy and say. See, this is Ezekiel prophesied back then, and we are in the spirit of Ezekiel. We're prophesying as well, telling you this is going to happen, and what this is going to happen as well. Okay, and we're seeing all the chess pieces being moved into the right positions. Thus said the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. And we know, according to the precepts, all right, that Esau is the sword. All right, he named this program Gideon, which means hewer. All right, somebody that destroys, that's somebody that cuts things down. Also, it can be interpreted as troops. Okay? It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. See, a sore slaughter. Who is it going to be targeted towards? You so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. And you're going to be crying, and you're going to be screaming. You're going to be asking God to help you. You're going to ask Jesus to help you. You're going to ask Yeshua, Yahweh. You're going to ask all, and even you're going to be screaming to Yahweh Shai and Yahweh. And the Lord is going to deny you, okay? And see, these things are coming up. These things are coming upon you suddenly. But Jake mind is on something completely different. They're on party and bullshit. Okay, you want to get the bag. All right, when you got a goddamn hole in your bag, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? See, right? Should we then make mirth? Is everything about games and mirth and passport bros? Come on, man. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he has given it to be furbished, right, to be handled. Okay? That it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. And this is all part of his sword. He named it a killing instrument, hewer. Or not necessarily it's a killing instrument, but somebody that chops down trees, a hewer. To hew somebody. Okay, they're also known as a feller. Okay, so this technology is being used to come against you Israelites. All these so-called school shootings, mass shootings, were all set up for years. The dude said he's been covering for 27 years. It's been happening more recently. Like damn near every other week, there's a school shooting, and then it's on the news for a whole week and they cover it. And it's like people are like, man, how much longer are we gonna, deal with this? What can we do? We gotta train our schools to be able to withstand this. We can't arm our teachers. That doesn't make sense. Like things that make sense you can't do, right? But see, this makes sense. We gonna scour the internet and we gonna find out who's doing what, who's doing what, and who's who. And we gonna come grab your ass up. Okay? But this is gonna be extended to everybody's gonna get it, okay? let's go to. We'll play a little bit more.
And you have 300-400 kids at a school, it can be very chaotic for the first responders because you have parents intervening. Parents are trying to get into the school and want to protect their children, of course, and law enforcement's trying to wrap their.
Oh, and then I believe right down the street where I'm here in Atlanta, there was supposedly was a shooting at a school yesterday. You know, the apostle was telling me about it. You know, they had the roads blocked off. So the shit is actually. I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. The shit actually happens. What is the solution? The solution is to bring in technology. Now, we just gonna roll this technology out. Well, they've already been using it. Now they're getting ready to roll it out like AI. They've been using AI. Now they're rolling it out to the people, and the AI is getting stronger now. Okay, but they have to tell the American people, look, this is now we getting ready to roll it out because look at all these goddamn shooting. We got to stop this.
Their hands around what's really going on and trying to assess the situation so that they can protect the kids. And there needs to be a good working relationship between the parents, the school, and the law enforcement.
And we have seen it so many times where there's not that good working relationship. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the following here, wrote it on X, Nicole, to you. This deranged monster targeted our most vulnerable, young children praying in their first morning mass of the school year. This deeply sick murderer scrawled the words, "For the children, where is God?" and killed Donald Trump on a Rifle magazine. I mean, the whole thing is we're also learning.
So you see how it's just like they're they're inciting a lot of emotions. You know, he said to where's God, you know, take down Donald Trump, you know, for the children, just crazy shit. So it's just wild, right? Let me go, where was I going? Isaiah 59, because ultimately this technology is going to be used to come against us. Okay, but let me just hit you with, we'll just end it here, you know. Isaiah 59:19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, right? And we're here in the Western Hemisphere, America, which is known as Babylon the Great, and his glory from the rising of the sun, which is the east. And the Lord is coming from the east. Okay, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, see, the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall raise up a standard against him. And let's look at this word standard, because you are not going to be able to run from this technology. It's going to be integrated throughout every facet of your life, so much so that it's actually going to be implanted inside of you. Okay, so that word is nawas. Okay, and it says to flee, escape. So when the enemy comes in, the Lord, he's going to raise up a standard. He's going to raise up a way for us to flee and escape, to depart, to disappear, to fly. See, sir, brothers, going as crazy as it may seem, which it's not even crazy. The power of the Lord to fly, to the attack. So certain brother, the Lord gonna have them, you know, fight against this damn devil. And Esau knows that he gonna have his AI super soldiers, his robots that he's working on. And Lord's why I can do a video on that, because they got the boxing robots, right? To put the flight, to drive hastily, cause to disappear, hide. And you're not going to be able to hide yourself during this time. But the Lord is going to raise up a standard for his elect. He's going to allow them to be, you know, let me just end you here with Revelation 3. He's going to keep us from this time. I mean, we gonna still be, you know, tempted. But within that temptation, the Lord is going to give us the ability to flee from that temptation. And ultimately, what's going to happen? He's going to destroy Esau. All this technology, this Gideon, this Palantir, and all the other things that they're getting ready to roll out, this AI tech, you know, which is supposed to be the savior of the whole world. Ultimately, the Lord going to burn it up. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Lord is going to protect us. And you got to have that mindset and the understanding that all these things must come. Okay? All these things that are happening, they must come to pass in order for us to receive our salvation. which shall come upon all the world to try them which dwell upon the earth. As we open up in Revelation 12 and 12, the devils come down upon the whole earth essentially. So this technology is going to be rolled out in all these nations. Okay, the MOTB is going to be accepted amongst all these nations. Okay, but the elect, they're not going to take the MOTB, the mark of the beast. All right, because this technology, ultimately their end goal is to put it inside you. So I'm going to close it there. Until next time, shalom to the elect.